It was not just a football match that night for millions. It was the death of a nation's dream before their eyes. 60,000 people sat in pure silence, far too shocked to cry. Millions watching from home could not believe what they witnessed. This was Brazil, the kings of beautiful football for generations. Yet somehow everything collapsed completely within 90 brutal minutes there. Today we discuss psychology, not goals, tactics, or football history. We explore hidden forces shaping emotions during devastating collective losses. Why did this defeat feel unbearably painful for so many? Why did grown men openly cry after witnessing sporting tragedy? Why did a proud nation suddenly descend into emotional chaos? The answer lives within fascinating psychological mechanisms inside human minds. Stay until the end, because this story concerns everyone deeply. Loving a team changes how people see themselves over time. Gradually, supporters stop viewing players as separate from themselves entirely. Victories become personal triumphs felt deeply throughout their own lives. Defeats become personal failures, carrying shame, pain, and heartbreak too. Psychologists call this phenomenon basking in reflected glory and identity. When teams lose badly, reflected shame replaces reflected glory quickly. Brazil represented much more than football for countless devoted supporters. Brazil reflected how millions viewed themselves, their pride and purpose. The team carried a nation's identity upon its shoulders daily. When that identity shattered, millions felt shattered deeply inside too. To understand collapse, we must first understand dangerous certainty fully. Brazil played at home, surrounded completely by passionate supporters everywhere. Many believed victory was guaranteed long before kickoff even arrived. Certainty replaced curiosity, creating a powerful psychological trap for everyone. Minds expecting victory stopped preparing emotionally for possible defeat entirely. Researchers call this dangerous mental state cognitive overconfidence in psychology. Confidence becomes blindness when reality no longer receives honest attention. People believe so deeply they stop seeing warning signs clearly. Then reality arrives suddenly, without mercy, preparation, or emotional protection. Germany's first goal felt unlike football to many watching there. It felt like solid ground disappeared beneath everyone's feet instantly. 5 goals arrived within 18 minutes, creating overwhelming disbelief everywhere. Human brains struggled desperately to process events unfolding before them. Psychologists describe this reaction as psychic numbing during trauma events. When pain grows enormous, minds disconnect to protect themselves temporarily. Every player displayed unmistakable signs of psychological collapse that evening. Empty eyes revealed shock beyond anything words could explain fully. Slow movement replaced confidence as communication completely disappeared everywhere quickly. Fighting spirit vanished while pressure crushed every remaining hope inside. Players were not choosing failure. Psychologically, they had collapsed already. Their nervous systems accepted defeat before halftime had even arrived. This happens whenever deeply held beliefs suddenly collapse without warning. Bodies continue moving forward while minds quietly surrender completely inside. For supporters, grief extended far beyond football that night alone. It involved memories, pride, identity, and personal meaning accumulated years. Childhood moments remain deeply connected to Brazil's footballing story forever. National pride became intertwined with victories celebrated across generations together. Personal stories merged tightly with experiences supporting the national team. Years of emotional investment collapsed painfully within less than hours. Psychologists call this disenfranchised grief, often misunderstood by outsiders. Many feel embarrassed crying publicly over losses in competitive sports. Yet brains process emotional pain similarly across many life experiences. Pain remains real whether caused by sport, love, or failure. Tears seen worldwide were honest expressions of genuine emotional loss. Supporters mourned something feeling like part of themselves had vanished. That pain reflected attachment built steadily across countless meaningful years. The loss struck identity itself, making grief especially powerful there. 60,000 people shared one overwhelming emotion inside that stadium. Psychologists call this emotional contagion within large crowds experiencing events. One person's fear quickly spreads outward through surrounding people nearby. Grief becomes collective, amplifying intensity beyond individual emotional capacity. Shock grows stronger when thousands experience identical feelings together simultaneously. Crowd emotions feed directly back into struggling players below there. Players absorb despair and perform even worse under mounting pressure. Fans witness decline, increasing anxiety and reinforcing collective panic further. This creates a vicious cycle, damaging everyone involved emotionally there. Home advantage can unexpectedly transform into a powerful psychological burden. Expectations become overwhelming when entire nations demand victory without exception. Pressure slowly transforms supportive environments into suffocating emotional chambers. Brazil felt that crushing weight and drowned beneath expectations completely. The story ultimately reveals truths about every human mind everywhere. We often build identity upon fragile external things around us. When those things break, inner stability can collapse alongside them. The lesson is not abandoning love, passion, loyalty, or dreams. The lesson is separating self-worth from unpredictable external outcomes entirely. Brazil lost one match. Millions suffered deeply, yet survived afterwards. If this story changed your perspective, share it with others. Someone you know may need these insights more than expected. Every person carries hidden wounds connected to identity and meaning. Sometimes a single event exposes those wounds without any warning. Football simply became the stage where deeper truths emerged publicly. The match revealed how strongly humans attach themselves to symbols. Teams often represent belonging, purpose, pride, and shared memories too. Losing those symbols can feel like losing part of yourself entirely. That emotional reaction is human, natural, and psychologically understandable too. It does not mean people are weak or irrational inside. It means they care deeply about something beyond themselves alone. Deep attachment creates joy, but also vulnerability during painful losses. Understanding this helps explain countless reactions throughout human history worldwide. Sports, relationships, careers, and dreams follow similar psychological patterns. Whenever identity merges completely, losses become far more devastating emotionally. Awareness creates distance between outcomes and personal self-worth over time. That distance protects minds during failure, disappointment, and unexpected setbacks. The strongest identities remain stable despite changing external circumstances continually. Remember this lesson whenever life suddenly turns against expectations completely. Protect your identity deeply, because outcomes change, but character remains.